Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Addie and today we are back with another speed build. Today we are building it's sort of a mix between a karaoke bar and a what's the other word? What's the other? I don't remember. Anyway, it's like a karaoke bar, but not. What does that mean? I don't actually know. Because for some reason my brain has decided to not work right now. But we are working on the floor plan, as you can see, and there was this whole struggle of like trying to get this to be open, and I just, good gravies, that whole thing, honestly horrible. Like, the least favorite part of the entire build. It was so frustrating. However, we did get there in the end. There was this situation as well, and I just, yeah, anyway, so right now we are kind of finishing up the floor plan, and yeah, so it's at this point that I think I just leave the build with the floor, because I was very tired of having to deal with the bullshit of just like absolutely nothing for no reason. And then the build, we did this kind of interesting, I mean, I don't know if I would call it like, it's not good, but it is interesting. Anyway, so we did something interesting with the roof where we did platforms, and I don't know why, but I always yawn when I'm like recording. I don't yawn any other time, just when I'm recording. Anyway, so yeah, we did something kind of weird with the roof, because I thought that it was kind of different. Normally I do like just big swaths of the same across the roof, and this was kind of different. It makes the roof look a little more interesting as well. So that's what we did, and then I did the ceiling outside, so that way if you're like trying to get like screenshots with your Sims or whatever, you can. And I recently discovered that this stone from Vampires looks very similar to the like pavers outside in the world of Windenburg. Like, it's kind of weird that they didn't just give us these pavers in the get together pack, but they probably didn't even think about it, you know? Like, they probably just were like, oh yeah, some floor, and then they just didn't even think about matching it, because they do that, you know? And we are getting some cool like architecture stuff outside right now. At this point I am doing something on the left hand side, and it just doesn't look as cool as the right hand side, so I switch it around so that the vertical panels are black and the horizontal panels are white, and that looks better. It looks cool. It has the high contrast that I want. And then we are also getting these columns. This is not a limited pack build, by the way. The packs just in this shot are City Living, Eco Lifestyle, Vampires, base game obviously, and Growing Together, or Get Together, not Growing Together, Get Together. So this is not a limited pack build. I should make another limited pack build. I've made a couple of them, but I don't know. They're not really... I just don't really like limited pack builds that much, like, to build. I'm sure that, like, I know that, like, objectively they're fine, but anyway. Yeah. So, I just don't make them that much. And I also don't do a lot of, like, build challenges. So, if that's something that you're kind of interested in, maybe leave a comment down below and I'll, and, like, which build challenge you want. Because I don't know that I ever posted it anywhere, but I've done, like, the No Mistakes Challenge. I've done, like, every room is a different fill in the blank. So if you're interested in seeing that, let me know and in the comments, and I'll do that. I'm kind of, not that I'm running out of inspiration, I'm just kind of in a sim slump right now. I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing. So that's kind of where my brain is at the moment. But if you want to see like a build challenge, definitely let me know. Anyway, we are inside now, and we are building, like, kind of furnishing the we were kind of furnishing the, like, dance floor section. So the karaoke is upstairs, and then we have a, like, club kind of vibe downstairs, and the bathrooms are down here. The bathrooms are honestly my favorite part of this entire build. I think they're a lot, but they're kind of cool. It's kind of like a cool version of a lot. And I should have done a pansexual pride theme in this build, but I didn't. I did a bisexual pride theme, but it's literally called Pan Europa Club. Like, it, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna do bisexual lighting. What? Anyway, so it is bisexual lighting and not pansexual lighting, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is. And I did intend to bring a sim here, and then I just didn't, so there's that. And frankly, I think that it looks better like this, because then it's not, like, so purple, you know? And I did temporarily consider doing some tables with more seating, and I just didn't like it. So we get rid of that, and then we come back into the dance floor, and we get more packs. So we've got these sectional seating from Dream Home Decorator, and just like a little table. There's nothing crazy going on. And then we've got more seating from Dream Home Decorator, just because, like, your Sims are really only going to be dancing on the dance floor. So we decided to kind of honor that. And then we're back in the dining section, and we've got, we're just, like, all over the place. Normally I'm, like, one room, and then I move on to the next room, and then I move on to the next room. That's not how this build was. We were everywhere all the time in this build. But these are the bathrooms, and I think they're pretty cool. We've got a shower, because I feel like your Sims would probably need that. We have the toilet from City Living. I did try to limit packs a little bit, but it's not, like, the most limited of packs. Like, yeah. So we have Spot A and City Living and University just in the bathrooms. But I don't know. I kind of like it. I think they're cool. And then we have... I'm sorry if you can hear my shoulders, like, popping in and out. They're really dramatic. But we have the towels, and maybe it's just really loud to me, and you guys are fine. I don't know. Anyway, so we've got, like, these are the first rooms that I actually finish all in one go. And I was trying to find something to put above the toilet, and I just didn't. So we have this side like cabinet. And then we have these side tables that have just like the bust. They have a bust on them. And I considered doing the blow-up chairs from the Sims event the other, I think it was like a year or so ago at this point. And I just didn't like it. And then I did these tiny living ones, and I also didn't like them very much. But we do have speakers in here, so your Sims can listen to music if they desire. And then we also get some in the bathrooms as well. And I tried to pick one that seemed kind of club-ish, but you probably, I don't know, you probably won't want to listen to both of that and the DJ booth at the same time. And I do end up switching out the tiny living chairs to the comfy, what is it called? I always forget what it's called. It's like the knitting pack. But we switched that out, and now we are actually opening up the floor because you can. And I never can remember which side is on which, so we just switched the stair railing until I figure it out. But we are getting a couple more tables up here. And then, I originally was gonna do like the same chairs as the ones downstairs, but they're bar height seating, and these are not bar height seating, so we didn't do that. But you do have some more seating in here. And then we are getting some brick on the outside, or on the inside walls, before we get some seating. And the seating, I think, is kind of interesting. I personally have never been to a karaoke bar, so I have no idea what this entails. But like, from what I have seen, which is not any at all, there's usually like, it's like one time on a TV show. But there's usually like some sort of seating and then like a table. And you can like order drinks and stuff and food and stuff from the bar, and have it in the room. And like you sing. And that's like the vague understanding that I have of what is in karaoke bars. But perhaps I am completely mistaken, and the US concept of karaoke bar is actually just like a single karaoke machine and everybody watches. I don't really know. But yeah, so anyway, that's that. And now we are moving back outside, and I'm gonna finish landscaping. And then I think we go back inside for a little bit, just to do some like last minute, what are they called? Last minute finishing touches. That's the word I'm looking for. And then we will, yeah, so we are getting just some simple landscaping. I didn't imagine this place had like luscious, dramatic landscaping, so we just didn't put that. But we do have some trees, and then some grass, and I contemplated for a little bit going through and putting the pebbles, and I actually really like it, so we did end up putting that in there. And that's when I decided to commit to the, not that they really go together, but I did decide to commit to like the bisexual theme. And we got some like LED lights and flags and stuff. And I don't know, it's kind of an interesting thing. Lots of bisexual pride flags. These I was gonna do, but the The red was more of like an orangey red, and the blue was more of like a greenish blue, and it just is not very purple, so we didn't do that. And I decided to get, well, I was going to get some roses, and then I think the rose swatch that I want comes with the, what is it called? Like the romance pack. And I don't have that one because that sounds really annoying. So we just didn't do that. But we do get some lights. So we've got purple, blue, and red. And the red kind of looks pink. And then this piece of artwork that's on the wall is, my understanding is that it was a piece by an LGBT artist. You can find more information in the description of that piece, and I'll try to find it in the Sims and copy that into the description of the video. But yeah, so just lots of queer stuff going on in here, and queer as in like LGBT. I myself am LGBT, so I personally identify as queer, so when I say queer, it's not like a slur, I promise. But I think it goes back to like, there are some words that you can only say if you're part of the community, queer being one of those words. So that, yeah. But yeah, so we are kind of doing that. And then I decide to, well, first we have to fix the like panels that I have here. And we just fix that. And then I think I move the light to the bigger side, but I'm not 100% sure. And I'm realizing now that, yeah, there it is. And it's very large, but I'm realizing now the ones on the side, there's one that doesn't match. But anyway, we're getting some lights, and I think on that note, we will end this video right here. If you liked it, if you would like and subscribe, that would really mean a lot, and I will see all of you next time. Bye now.